You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. You know that line in Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Someone's been sleeping in my bed. Well, if that's your kid, this installment of the podcast is not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. I was having kind of a gloomy day, and then it's amazing. I got the pictures from my neighbors down the block. They just had their baby. They have a little girl. And I don't know what the heck kind of nesting thing got to them, but they also adopted another dog, and they're doing this thing called co-sleeping. Do you know what co-sleeping is?
Everybody in the same bed.
Yeah, I think that is insanity. You know, but you can't say that to new moms. You can't say, you're never going to be able to pry that little girl out of your bed now. You can't say that.
Well, is this a baby?
Yeah, brand new. One of the moms had it. The baby.
Don't roll over on it.
Well, no, they have these little devices. I don't know for a certainty, but I'm guessing that given all the other new baby stuff they have, I'm guessing they have one of those fancy little co-sleeping things that kind of attaches to the side of the bed.
I have to tell you, I made that mistake with my youngest. And there's a big wide range between my youngest son and my youngest daughter. But in between husbands, I let her come and sleep in my room because she was totally 100% sure that there was a ghost in her room that spoke to her at night.
Well,
I'm
I'd
sure
be like,
that was
fine. I'd be fine. Let's get to know the ghost then, because that's your room, and that ghost is living in your room with you. And if it bothers you, you can have my room, and I'll have the room with the ghost. I'll sleep out on the porch with the ghost, but you are not sleeping in my room.
See, I had a big old bed all to myself, so I let her sleep in my room, and it was the worst choice I could ever have made in my life. She slept with me for years, okay? 4 years. She had a really nice room, expensive bedroom set, slept with me. Then I met Frankie, who I'm currently married to.
And have been for a while.
15 years.
She's still sleeping in the bed with you, is she?
Oh, get this. So this is the lesson I learned.
Yes.
Frankie came to Michigan to visit, and she loved him. We came to Flagstaff and visited him. She loved him. He moved to Michigan and took her place in my bed.
Oh.
They did not speak for 2 years. She didn't say a word to him. And she would introduce us as, this is my mom and my mom's husband. Yeah. It was bad. So don't let your kids sleep with you. Especially if you're going to get remarried to a donkey cute guy.
I try. You know me. I think I know better than everybody about most anything, right?
Uh-huh.
And
yes, definitely. Are you kidding?
I had my kids in Berkeley where the women know everything about parenting. Even if they have not got children, they know everything about parenting. My kid was Gritchy at the Berkeley Bowl, which is like the paradise of produce. And some woman came up and asked if she could nurse him for me. I mean, that's...
My God.
Yeah, Berkeley.
Don't they all at Berkeley like give birth in little kiddie pools in the middle of their living room?
Well, there was a woman who went to our birthing group. I think I may have talked about this in my book, who wanted to know where she could have a water birth. I'm thinking there's a bay, there's the ocean, pick something. But no, she wanted warm. I can't even go down that contemplative path. I can't sit on that yoga mat today. A lot of the people who seem to be falling for this co-sleeping horsewash are medical professionals who should know better. My dear girlfriend, I love her. She's a pretty practical girl. Decided to let her kids sleep in the bed, and I wasn't going to have my kid in the bed with me for any reason. And my pediatrician was very, very diplomatic. He said, it doesn't matter, and I don't care where the baby sleeps. Just know that after 30 days, they know where they are. And they can smell your milk come in. So if they're close enough, they know where you are. It would be like saying to somebody, you're going to spend 9 hours in this bakery and don't eat anything. That's not going to happen.
No, never.
Never.
Not in this realm.
Not in this world. So, like, here's the baby. Nobody's even said anything to the baby about, this onesie's, you're going to look too fat in this onesie if you, no. The baby is right there. You're right there. There's no reason why the baby wouldn't just be cruising up to nurse all night long. But
I would not want a baby in my bed. No, no, no.
My
It's bad
girlfriend-
enough having it, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old in my bed.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one who has had trouble removing the child, like with a crowbar and bribes and lures and prisons and cages and anything you could, locking bedroom doors. I know so many women now who have told me, and finally for once, I get to feel like a superior mother. It is the only thing that I've ever done right about being a baby mother, and I did it because I'm selfish and mean and I like to sleep. That is why I did it. I did it because I'm going to sleep. Trust me, the way for you to survive being a baby is to let me sleep. Otherwise, I may just leave you at the fire station. They'll take you. So
I don't think they did back then.
I would have
think you
made
got
them.
in trouble.
I would have
I
made
think
them
it's a
do
new
it.
thing.
It was California. They would do it. Or I could leave the baby at the Berkeley Bowl. Somebody would just take it home and raise it
There
in a
you
tent,
go.
in a yurt. So
A yurt.
that's what they would do in an adobe.
In a yurt.
That's what they do in the park with fish that are only slightly poisoned.
Yurt people. I'm going to write a book someday called Yurt People.
Make a
It's
note
gonna
of
be
it. So
It's gonna
my
be a horror
girlfriend,
book.
when you're really,
Right.
really close to somebody and you've had your kids at about the same time, it's okay to repeat your pediatrician's advice, I think, or information. It's okay to say, if you like her in the bed, that's great, because she'll probably be there for a while. So I said
If you're
that.
nursing till she's 15,
Well, that's Berkeley. Some people do. There's breast milk on their kids' high school diploma. That's how long.
say you have a tooth, time to go.
They don't care. So my girlfriend, I warned her. I did. And for years, she was trying to get her kid out of her bed. I think her kid had to start like smoking so that she had something to hide from her mother, so that she finally quit sleeping in the same bed. I think that's when it finally occurred, the separation. That kid was in that bed. There was no stepfather. There was no, dad is traveling for work for months at a time. You might as well come in and sleep with me. No, it was just her husband, baby, my girlfriend for something like 15 years. Seriously.
Maybe she didn't want any more kids. I mean, that's a perfect means of birth control, having a kid between you.
That's what school is for, and working from home and working strange hours. I don't know what they would have done if they all worked normal, like 9 to 5s. I don't know how they would have done that. But back to my neighbor. So I walk down the street with my meal, because that's what I do when someone has a new baby. I bring over a meal, and I asked if they had any dietary restrictions. They said, we're vegans. So I made a nice little vegan feast.
Don't get me vegan started. Ugh.
I know how to do it. And I tell you what, I really make that's good, that's vegan, mushroom gravy. But you like your gravy in a jar, and
Yes,
you don't
that's
like
right.
mushrooms. You like your gravy in a jar, and you don't like mushrooms, so you don't ever have to eat this. But I might make it for your daughter, because she would.
I
dig
might
it.
just serve you a bowl of gravy when you're here,
Ugh.
straight from the jar.
I'm going to teach
I'll
your
put it in
daughter.
the microwave first.
There's nothing more revolting than vegan pizza.
Oh, fake cheese.
Wait. There's one thing more revolting than vegan pizza.
Oh, wait, what?
Gluten-free vegan pizza.
Oh, God.
So I bring this meal
What is
down.
that even made of?
I don't want to know. Honest to Pete, there are some things.
Rubber and styrofoam.
You know how
It's really healthy.
people say that you don't want to know how the sausage is made? I don't want to know how the vegan, gluten-free pizza is made. I do not ever want that recipe. That would be like the ultimate flying middle finger at me, would be the vegan, gluten-free pizza. I just don't want to think about it. So I brought it.
Speaking of recipes, just really quick.
Yeah.
I want to insert this.
Yes.
The other day I was going through just tons of paper,
Mm-hmm.
and I found a recipe written in your hand for and it had to be at least 30 years old. And it was for a spinach, cheese, and something else pie.
Spinach
thing.
ricotta. Probably your
I
spinach
can't
cottage cheese pie. Because you like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saved it to show you.
Aw. Aw. Do you like that recipe or do you even know how to cook
Yeah,
it?
no, and
Must have
it
been
had your name on
it
it.
must have been stuff I cooked for you that you liked 30 years ago.
There you go.
There you go. So I go down the street, doop, 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 doop.
Yep.
And the mom who did not give birth came down and I asked how it was going. I said, well, how's it going? Are you getting any sleep? And she said, oh, yeah, we're getting lots of sleep because we're co-sleeping. And I'm thinking, does nursing at night count as sleeping? I don't think so. But okay, and I stopped myself. I said, well, I can give you the information that my pediatrician gave me if you're interested. And she kind of looked at me skeptically. And I said, after 30 days, they know where they are. So good for you. And I I found it to be true. They knew where they were at 30 days. And then she was looking at me like she was maybe a little annoyed. And I thought, so I'm glad you're enjoying it and enjoy your dinner. Goodbye. I ran away. I thought, okay, I probably shouldn't have even said that. Probably shouldn't have even, because, when you have a new baby, you don't imagine that you're going to have a 12-year-old in the bed.
That's true.
But you will if you put your baby, I believe, if you put your baby in the bed from the beginning, then that's their bed.
I have a dog and 2 cats and a husband in the bed now.
Yes.
Just a little dog.
Yeah. I don't sleep with animals. My kids will allow the dog in the bed. I do not. And the dog knows the difference, too. When I walk by the small cutie's room when he was home this winter break, and the dog would see me go by the bedroom door, that dog, whoosh, right out of the bed. You'd think I hit it. I never raised a hand to the dog. Well, okay, once. One time I raised a hand to the dog. Once.
When Frankie leaves in the morning, the 2 big dogs get in the bed, usually.
I want to clarify. Don't raise a hand to the dog for sleeping in the bed because all I have to do is yell at the dog. No, I raised a hand at the dog when it pulled me so fiercely on the leash that I nearly splayed out on the ice and into traffic.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was the you better learn right now moment. It works. Really
Sometimes
works.
it works with kids too.
Screaming in the face and a whack across the muzzle. I have to say that I had a peaceful walk for the rest of the week. I had peaceful walks.
I can just imagine the names she was calling you in her head.
I didn't care. I was like, if you ever want to get walked again, you cannot break every bone in my body. And my teeth. My teeth are the thing.
Yeah, your teeth.
Fear.
Teeth are important.
Don't want the teeth broken. I mean, really, because it was that winter I've mentioned last year where we had the spousal unit was in California, allegedly working on the house, which, is it really work if your wife is in 20 below and shoveling literally 4 feet of snow every day and you are painting a wall at 75 degrees with the windows open and no.
Absolutely not.
That's right. You're not working. I'm working. I'm working by surviving. Thanks for listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. If you'd like to do us a great favor, please leave us a good review wherever you hear this podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Turi Ryder's She Said What. And you might also enjoy my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, which you can find any place you buy your books or on Amazon.